Scott Shaw travels to a small town in rural Virginia to look for his missing daughter, who went missing after visiting the area with her friends. He receives little assistance from the locals. Take a look back 6 weeks. Jen Shaw, her boyfriend Darius, and couples Adam and Mila, Gary and Luis arrive in town to hike the Appalachian Trail. Locals in the bar, particularly Nate, are hostile to them. Jen also meets a strange woman named Edith, who is accompanied by a young mute girl named Ruthie. The friends begin their hike and, despite being warned not to, deviate from the path to find an old fort. Gary is crushed to death when a massive tree trunk falls down the hill. The group, bruised and disoriented, gets lost and decides to camp for the night. Mila, as well as their cell phones, go missing the next day. They discover an 1859 plaque commemorating the formation of the Foundation, a group of settlers in the mountains who believed the end of the United States was near. Adam is caught in a trap and dragged into a pit while searching for Mila. Jen, Darius, and Luis come across a barn full of backpacks and clothing, then notice Adam trussed to a pole, being carried by 2 men dressed in strange costumes and wearing animal skull masks. Friends rush to confront the men, who are speaking in a language they do not understand. Adam escapes and brutally beats one of them to death while the other flees. Mila appears and explains that she went to the bathroom and then hid when she saw the 2 men. The friends come across additional traps and are surrounded by more masked men. Mila is impaled on stakes after falling into a pit. She is assassinated with an arrow. Jen, Adam, Darius, and Luis have all been apprehended. The friends are taken to a primitive settlement deep in the forest, the Foundation's headquarters, and brought before a court. Edith is one of their enslavers. Morgan, Adam's brother, claims they killed Mila to save her from a painful death in the spike pit. Morgan describes Adam's murder of his brother, Samuel. The members of the group have been charged with murder. Venable, the leader, sentences Adam to death. Others have been sentenced to darkness. Adam escapes and kidnaps Ruthie, demanding the release of his friends. Ruthie stabs Adam in the leg with a hidden blade. He is then executed in front of his friends by Venable, who beats him to death with the log he used to kill Samuel. Venable blinds Luis with a hot poker when he tries to flee. Jen begs Venable for forgiveness. Venable agrees, and she and Darius are both welcomed into the community. Jen reluctantly accepts the role of Venable's sexual partner. Scott hires a local tracker to guide him through the woods. Scott discovers the settlement but is apprehended after the tracker and his son are killed by a trap. Jen, who is now married to Venable, shoots an arrow at her father. Venable sentences Scott to darkness and imprisons him for trespassing. Jen releases her father that night, revealing she only shot him to avoid suspicion. She tries to persuade Darius to flee with her and Scott, but he refuses. Ruthie assists them in fleeing before Venable and the other cultists track them down. They come across an underground chamber teeming with blinded and shambling prisoners, including Luis. Jen kills him out of mercy, and she and Scott flee, killing a number of cultists, including Edith. They come across Nate and other armed townspeople who offer to assist them. The cultists attack them, injuring Jen, but Scott and Jen manage to flee. Jen and her father have returned to their normal lives several months later. Jen pays a visit to her stepmother, but she finds her busy welcoming Venable and Ruthie to the neighborhood. Jen confronts Venable, who notices she is expecting his child. He invites Jen to accompany him to the Foundation. Jen agrees on the condition that Venable not interfere with her family again. She, Venable, and Ruthie depart in a recreational vehicle, RV. As the credits roll, the RV collides with a parked car. Jen stabs Venable and murders the other cultist. She then takes Ruthie's hand and leads her back to her family's house.